Lesson 1.3, we're going to learn order of operations. What the order of operation tells us to do is it tells us in which order, obviously order of operations, we are going to solve each number as it is given to us. Now, you can't just use, hey, I'm just going to solve it from left to right or what I see first. You have to follow a specific pattern in order to get the right answer. If you don't follow the pattern, you will get a totally different answer. So I'm sure most of you have heard of the order of operations before, PEMDAS, or some people say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. But what that stands for is parentheses, which means you have a set of parentheses and there is something inside of those parentheses to do. This is not considered parentheses. What operation is that considered? That is considered multiplication. That falls under a totally different step. So when you see parentheses, it means there's actually something to do within those parentheses. There is absolutely nothing to do inside those parentheses. There's just a 3 there, so it signifies multiplication. Exponents. We learned about exponents yesterday. Anytime you see an exponent, that's going to come next. Then multiplication, what we just said. This is multiplication. This is multiplication. This is multiplication. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. Then division. So we would have, 3 divided by 12 or 12 divided by 3, depending on what your answer is. Okay, here's something that I want you to know about order of operations. Multiplication and division are technically going to be equal. What I mean by that is you do them in the order in which they appear. So you're going to do them left to right. That's what we call the left to right rule. So as you are reading, left to right, that's how we read, you're going to do whichever comes first, multiplication or division. So they're on the same level. Then we have addition and subtraction. Again, these are on the same level. We do them in the order in which we see them. So the left to right rule applies there. Now, multiplication and division is still done before addition and subtraction. It's just when you see both multiplication and division, you do them in left to right order. When you see addition and subtraction, you do them in left to right order. Okay, so we have parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition, subtraction. So let's put those into use. First of all, we're going to use what we learned yesterday in 1.1 when we learned how to plug in a number for a variable. So we have 4 times x to the second power minus 8. It tells us to evaluate when x is equal to 3. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the x and I'm going to replace it with a 3. So I'm going to do 4 times 3 squared minus 8. Now, I wrote it this way on purpose because here is what most people do. They say, okay, 12 squared minus 8, 144 minus 8, 132. Got it. No, that is not correct at all. I'm sorry, I did the math wrong. 136. And that is not correct at all, okay? The reason where I went wrong was right up here. Is this considered parentheses? Is there anything inside of those parentheses for me to do? No. So we skip parentheses and we go straight to exponents. So I'm going to draw an X through here. So we're going to do 4 times, what is 3 squared? 9 minus 8. So now I do multiplication. 4 times 9 is 36. Minus 8 is 28. Look how totally different my answers are. The first one was 136. The second one, that it was correct, is 28. That is why order of operations is so important. Now we have 27 divided by 3 squared plus 3. Which one of these things am I going to do first? Do you see any parentheses? Nope. So we're going to move to exponents. 3 squared is 9. Now, PEM, multiplication. Do I see any multiplication? Nope. Division, yes. And remember, multiplication and division fall on the same line, so you do whichever one you saw first. 27 divided by 9 is 3, and 3 plus 3 is 6. On these problems, you do have to show your work. You cannot just plug this into your calculator and tell me that the answer is 6. So example number 2, we are going to put that left to right rule into practice. So at the top of my page, I'm just going to write PEMDAS. I didn't do it on the last example. I probably should have. Just so we know what each letter stands for. So let's look for parentheses. Do you see any parentheses in the first problem? No. Exponents? Nope. Multiplication? Nope. Division? Nope. Now addition and subtraction. I see both of these. But because I have to follow the left to right rule, I'm going to do 32 minus 16 first. So 32 minus 16 is 16, plus 2 is 18. If you were to do 16 plus 2 is 18, minus 32 minus 18, you would get an incorrect answer. Okay? Next one. No parentheses, no exponents, but I do see multiplication and division. So what I want to do is I want to follow my left to right rule. Division comes first. So 48 divided by 3 is 16. So we have 16 times 2, which is 32. Again, if you would have done 3 times 2 first is 6, and then did 48 divided by 6, you would get an incorrect answer. Okay? Parentheses, nope. Exponents, nope. Multiplication, division, yes. It's right here in the middle. I have to do that first. I'm not going to start off by saying 12 plus 6, because multiplication and division is still ahead of addition and subtraction. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now I can just follow the left to right rule. 12 plus 2 is 14, minus 2 is 12. The next example, we're going to do a little more in-depth problems. So the first problem here, I have a fraction bar. We are going to treat this fraction bar as if it is just a dividing line of the top and the bottom. I'm going to do everything up top in order of operations. Then I'm going to do everything on bottom in order of operations. Then the very last step, I'll actually divide the top by the bottom. Okay, so obviously at the top we only have one thing to do, and that's 24 times 3, which is 72. On the bottom, what am I going to do first? Let me write the PEMDAS up here so we have it. What's going to come first? Do you see any parentheses? Nope. Exponents. Yep, I see an exponent. So we're going to do 5 plus 3 squared is 9 minus 2. No multiplication, no division. So we're just going to do addition, subtraction, left to right. 5 plus 9 is 14. 14 minus 2 is 12. So we have 72 divided by 12. Now, as my very last step, I'm going to divide here, which is 6. You never want to do the division bar, treat it as a part of the PEMDAS, because you only divide at the very end. Basically, you're simplifying a fraction. Okay, now look at this problem. We've got parentheses, and these are called brackets. Basically, all that they're doing, all the brackets are doing, is it's just another set of parentheses They just make it look different so that you don't get confused between the two of them, because you wouldn't know which one started where and ended where. When we see two different sets of parentheses, brackets, brads, whatever they may be, we always do the innermost parentheses first. So if I'm looking for the innermost parentheses, this is going to be 7 minus 4. This actually qualifies as parentheses because there is something for me to do inside of them. So 7 minus 4 is 3. Now I'm going to do exponents because I'm working inside of the parentheses still. 9 plus 3 plus 15. Then again, I'm still working inside parentheses. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 15 is 27. So you work from the innermost out when you have more than one set of parentheses. Okay, next problem here. 2 times 4 squared divided by 8. Do you see any parentheses? Nope. Exponents. Yes, we have to do 4 squared. I cannot do 2 times 4 is 8, and then 8 squared is 64. That is not order of operations. So 2 times 16 divided by 8. Now, we're going to do the left to right rule because I have multiplication and division. 2 times 16 is 32. Divided by 8 is 4. That would be my final answer. You would get a totally different answer if you tried to do multiplication before the exponents. Okay? This is the homework tonight, so I want you to close your spiral-bound notebook. I want you to get out a separate sheet of paper. Do not rip it out of the spiral-bound notebook. At the top of that paper, I want you to label it Homework 1.3. You're going to write this at the very top. On the top right, you're going to write your first and last name. Then you're going to write this page number right up underneath it. You're going to fold your paper long ways down the center, and you're going to start working on numbers 14 through 40 evens. Okay, so remember, you're skipping, it's doing every other problem. That will be due on Wednesday, so due tomorrow in class.